Hey guys, Sophia here with Turquoise Toffee, and I'm back with another video. Today we're talking about the 2023 IFBB Pro League Tricity Classic Pro Figure, Pro Masters Bikini, and Pro Masters Wellness results. It was a very big show with a lot of gorgeous women. Let's just get right to it because there's a lot to talk about. In terms of Olympia, only the figure open is going to qualify for 2023. So the way it works this year is the top 3 from last year's Olympia qualify, and then the winner. There's no more tiered system, no more points, only the winner gets to go. Very stressful, but very exciting. All right, so let's begin with figure open. You can see the scorecard here. In first place was Danya or D, second Deshane, third Linda, fourth Chenier, and fifth Shayna. And when you look a little bit more carefully at the score, you can see it was very close between third and fourth. Super exciting. Okay, so here's Shayna in fifth place. That's crazy conditioning. I love it. It looks so good. Her legs are fantastic. I love all that detail. You've got feathering. You've got just these super sharp, easy to see lines. Looks amazing. She's got a nice small waist. She's got a beautiful V-taper. Lovely posing. She looks very balanced, very even. Just gorgeous. I do think that compared to some of the other ladies, she could have a little bit more roundness in the sweep of her quads. They're very sharp and very straight, but I think a little bit more fullness and curve would look really good. Maybe you'll see it in the lineup, but I think overall she looks really fantastic. She's got nice proportions. Her suit is lovely. Her makeup is beautiful, and I'm so impressed with her conditioning. Okay, next is Chenier in fourth. This is exactly what I mean about a little bit more curve, a bit more roundness. She looks very full. She's got a lot of size. There is no space between her legs. Her muscles are so big. You can even see her glutes from the front, and her lats to me are just glorious. Such a beautiful curvy shape. Great balance with her lower body. I think she's just phenomenal. Conditioning could have been a little bit more to show off some of these lines even deeper. Like, I really liked our fifth place winner's conditioning, but I'm loving Chenier's curve and fullness. I think she's got a beautiful, tiny waist. She looks just very pretty. Great makeup, lovely suit. I like how the swirls really draw your eye to the outside. It kind of pulls you out to the V-taper. So I think she did a really good job. Great posing. Just a tiny bit more detail coming through on the legs would have taken me over the edge. Okay, Linda in third. Love the blue suit. It is stunning. It's such a gorgeous color with her skin. I think she has really amazing delts, particularly from the back pose. Her delts are like nobody else's. She wins the delts competition for me. Absolutely fantastic. She's got really good balance between the upper body and the lower body. And I like that her lats are very moderate. She's not overly lat dominant or crazy high insertion point. She just looks like a beautiful, perfect V shape. I think she has a really pleasant silhouette. Really nice overall look. I do notice a bit of a lack of symmetry in this picture. Like, this hand is clearly higher than this one, which of course is throwing the shoulders off, but it's just a photo that might not have been how she looked, the entire pose. I think she's got beautiful roundness in her legs, some nice detail coming through in the quads. Maybe, a little bit more would have been cool too, but overall, I think she does look really quite lovely. I do notice, however, that compared particularly to first and second place, she could try to pose with just a little bit more of a hinge in her hips so that her waist looks smaller, her upper body is just a little bit more forward, and I think it would pop the glutes. Like some of the other ladies, you can see their glutes even in the front pose, whereas Linda, I think, is standing a bit more just straight up and down. So I think if she played with her posing, it would make her V-taper even more extreme, her waist even more small, and you'd see those beautiful glutes from the front. Okay, here's Deshane in second place. Oh man, she is really nailing it. On all fronts, she's got the crazy, beautiful detail. The conditioning is just gorgeous. A lot of lines, very clearly visible. Six-pack abs, tiny waist, great V-taper, beautiful lats, lovely shape in her arms. Her posing is awesome, really level shoulders. Great balance between her upper body and her lower body. I can see a bit of glute from the front. Her waist is like just minuscule. So she really did a fantastic job. The suit is gorgeous. Her suit fits a little differently than some of the others. It comes up really high and the straps aren't quite so like way up into the waist. It's fine. It looks really nice on her. Just something I noticed is a bit different. But I think it's a lovely color. She looks really good. I'm impressed by the tiny waist and just her beautiful conditioning. I think she did a really fantastic job. From behind, I'll get there when we get there. Okay, hang tight. Okay, here's Dee in first place. Oh man, she looks so good. Really nice V-taper, tiny waist. Great six-pack ab definition. Her legs are both full and round, but also conditioned and detailed at the same time. So she really nailed that balance. It's a delicate balance, and she did a great job. You've got lots of good detail coming in her quads. Her calves look nice. She's got fullness in the inside of her legs. There's no gap. There's no space. It's just muscle. Really nice posing, nice level shoulders, and then just an overall a really nice gorgeous package. So I like the makeup, I like the color of her suit. It's very bright, it's very eye-catching, and in the lineup from behind in particularly, she looks spectacular. Okay, so here's everybody side by side. Okay, clearly Shayna in fifth has amazing detail in her legs, but I think you can see what I mean, that she lacks some of that roundness in the sweep. Chenier has beautiful roundness, but is missing some of that detail, some of that deep, groovy conditioning. Deshane, I think her waist is so spectacularly small, really good V-taper. Linda, this is where you can see that she's got great size, but she doesn't quite look as extreme as Deshane and Dee. Her waist is not coming in as teeny, so her V-taper is not as, extraordinary, but beautiful delts. Nice shape in her legs. And then when we look at Dee in first, man, her delts are massive. Her lats are huge. She's got this beautiful silhouette, great shape, good conditioning, and so much size, but also conditioning in her legs. Just gorgeous. Now from behind. Okay, this is where I feel like Dee really took the cake for first place. Deshane is also really good beside her. Tiny waist, beautiful definition in her back, but I don't think her tie-ins look as smooth and full as Dee. I think she's got a lot more roundness to the glute and a little bit more of a very sharply defined straight line coming down into the hamstrings. So I think that's kind of what put her on another level. She's got so many beautiful attributes. Everybody in this lineup looks amazing. Do you see what I mean about Linda's delts? Wow, they are so 3D. They're popping out of her body. She's just incredible. Chenier, I think, needed a little bit more sharpness in the conditioning, a little bit deeper grooves in the tie-ins. Shayna, oh man, her shape of her glutes looks fantastic. This is a really gorgeous top 5. Okay, so in terms of Olympia, Danya D, she is qualified. Now, looking at Figure Masters 40 plus, there was a lot of the same athletes, which is so impressive. So it was Danya again in first place, Deshane in second, Linda in third, and now we have a couple new faces to check out. We've got Candace in fourth and Stacy in fifth. And once again, it was fairly close in the score between third and fourth place. Okay, so here's Stacy in 5th. She is stunning. I love her suit. The colors are beautiful. The turquoise with the purple is so pretty. I love the fit of her suit, like how teeny tiny the strap is. It looks really good, and she can carry it coming down super low. She's got such a nice, smooth, flat stomach. Gorgeous. I think she's got really nice size in her legs, and she's got some good conditioning coming through, but I do think she could have a bit more lat and just have a little bit more of an extreme, exaggerated V-taper shape. She's got beautiful delts, beautiful size of the muscles in her arms. So just a little bit more conditioning to show off some of that detail, and maybe just a little bit more size in the lats. But overall, I think she looks really beautiful. And then here's Candace in 4th place. My gosh, her conditioning is crazy. Maybe on the verge of being even too much, which I think you might agree with me in the back pose. But my goodness, when I look at her and I see these lines and I see all the detail and you see the crazy shape of her delts and all of the striations, like, man, she looks wicked. I think it looks really cool, but it just might be a tiny bit too much for figure, but good grief, she looks amazing. She's got beautiful shape, great size. There's a little bit of a lack of symmetry to me. I feel like this lat is coming a little bit out more than this one. Even the shoulder might be more forward. I'm not quite sure what it is, but I think she's got a nice small flat stomach, beautiful legs, and just overall she looks extremely impressive. Okay, so the girls side by side, you know, I'm seeing still the same thing. I see the tiny waist on Dee and Deshane, beautiful delts on Linda. Candace, I'm really noticing the feathering and the detail in her quads. Stacy, I think she's got beautiful size, really nice legs. She's posing really confidently and beautifully too. Then from behind, this is where I feel that Candace maybe took it a little bit too far with her conditioning, or perhaps it's just a posing thing. It seems like she's almost leaning towards the judges with her upper body. If she could maybe pop the glutes a bit more, try to make them look a little bit more rounded and full, they look extremely lean, which I think is not quite the look that you want for figure. You want a little bit more of that roundness, a bit more fullness, beautiful tie-ins. But still, I think everybody looks extremely impressive. And like, this is Masters figure. Holy smokes. Unreal. Okay, now 50 plus. Crazy. We have Dee again in 1st place, Candace in 2nd, and then Barbie came in 3rd. So here's Barbie. We haven't seen her yet. She looks beautiful. Really lovely shape. I think she has a nice balance between her top and her bottom. The lats are a good balance with the legs. Overall, she's got that nice X shape. Beautiful tapering in of the waist, nice smooth flat stomach. Conditioning is good. You've got detail by the kneecaps. You've got a little bit of the 6-pack coming through in her abs. You know, I like the more in your face conditioning where you see a little bit of the feathering. I wouldn't have minded that a little bit more, but I do think she's got enough. She's got the lines, she's got the hardness, she's got beautiful shapes. Perhaps she could work on having a little bit more fullness to the inside of the thighs so that there's not quite so much of a space. But overall, I think she looks really lovely. And the suit is unique. You don't often see such a dark, almost navy blue, and it looks gorgeous. I think she looks very, very lovely. Okay, so here's the ladies side by side. You can really see how Dee has an amazing amount of size, particularly in her legs. Her conditioning is on point. You've got 6-pack abs. You've got those beautiful lines in the legs. Great delts. Just amazing. Even in this picture, I feel like Barbie could have perhaps a little bit more delt too, just when you compare her next to Dee and Candace. And then again from behind, Dee really nails it where she's not too conditioned. You don't have striations. You don't have a crazy squared off shape. You just have that beautiful roundness and fullness. And man, what a sweep and beautiful size in her legs. A nice small waist on all three of these ladies. And, gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous delts. Okay, moving on to Bikini. This is our Masters 40 plus. So in first place, we had Stephanie, second, Sharina, and third, Helene. So here's Helene in third place. So impressive. She looks really quite spectacular. She's got beautiful lines, a lot of detail. In fact, I would go as far as saying that I think she might have been a hair too conditioned. Compared to the other girls in the lineups, you really see a lot of lines on Helene, and there's a bit more softness in some of the other ladies. So that might have been something in this case that took her down a couple notches, because in terms of her shape, she looks beautiful. She's got great delts. She's got that nice S curve, really good shape to her glutes and hamstrings. I do find that she's posing with this arm too high. I think it's throwing off her shoulder. It almost looks like she's pulling her shoulder forward. If she could just relax that a little bit, maybe pull the hand a little lower, then I think it would just have a bit more of a soft shape. But it's a beautiful suit. I'm really impressed by how lean she was able to get and great obliques. And I thought it was a really good third place. Okay, here's Sharina in second. So you can see a lot more softness. She doesn't have the crazy lines. She just looks really full. Maybe she could be a little tiny bit more lean, something in between. I do feel that, like even here, the suit almost is tight. It's coming in a little bit, and I would have liked to see a little bit more of that hardness in the shape in her upper body. But she's got a beautiful silhouette, really nice full glute, great size, and curve to her quad. She's a little bit more petite. I think she could use a bit more size and roundness to the outside of her delts, and maybe even just a bit more exaggeration in the posing, just to try to really highlight that S curve. But overall, I think she looks very lovely. She looks very full. She looks very healthy. She's got a softness, but still a very small, tight stomach and beautiful lines overall. Great silhouette. Love her calf as well. Nice posing. All right, so here's Stephanie in first place. So she's got it all. She's got a great pose that really shows off that S curve. She looks hard and lean in all the right places. You've got chiseled obliques. You've got the groove coming down her glute. You've got that line all the way outlining her quad. Her delts are very easy to see. You've got nice curves in her arms. So she's got a lot of muscle mass. She's got good conditioning and detail to show off the muscle mass. And then she's posing really well to make you notice that hourglass figure. She's got a good balance between her shoulder and her glute. She looks firm, but she doesn't look too hard. So she's got a little bit still softness and roundness to the legs, the hamstring. I think she nailed it. I think this was a very good win for her. She did really a great job, and beautiful makeup, beautiful earrings. I like that her hair is off her shoulders. You got a great view of her upper body, and she's stunning. She looks really good. Side by side, I think it's a clear win for Stephanie. Her abs look fantastic, really nice small waist, beautiful upper body, great posing, so she looks balanced, she looks firm, she looks athletic, great conditioning and detail, and just overall a gorgeous shape. Helene and Sharina, they look amazing as well, but I think you can see Helene is perhaps a bit too hard, and Sharina might be just a tad petite compared to Stephanie. And then from behind, I think Stephanie did a really good job with the conditioning here. You got a nice amount of detail coming through in her hamstrings. You've got some beautiful curves to the inside of her legs. Her glutes look full and round, and she's got that nice hourglass shape from behind. Helene, beautiful as well. Maybe she could have a little bit more hair just to cover some of the muscle in her back, just to create a bit more softness. And I thought Sharina could have had just a tiny bit of a trim just to get some of that hair off the top of the glutes. But I really liked the triangular V shape she has in the cut. Okay, 50 plus bikini now. We've got Sharina in first, Geneva in second, Helene in third, and Karen in fourth. So 2 new faces. So here's Karen in fourth place. First of all, her suit color is amazing, gorgeous, absolutely eye-catching, different than anything we've seen. It looks really beautiful. I think she's got a great amount of size, very large glutes, nice amount of muscle in the leg. She's got a beautiful curvy hamstring, nice fullness to her quads. You can see she's got some very large delts as well. I think her waist looks nice and small, but I do think conditioning could have been more to have that groove in the glute. The line could be a little sharper by, a bit more detail by the kneecaps. And in terms of posing, if she could relax this arm so that it was falling a bit more straight, I think to do that, she would have to just twist a little bit more open and get this shoulder a little bit more over here. That's it. I think she looked really good. It was a fabulous fourth. Okay, next and second is Geneva. First thing I noticed was her glute. Absolutely gorgeous shape, really curvy, great roundness, very good curve right here between the waist to the glute. I think it's a great silhouette. Though I do think she needs a little bit more roundness on the delts. She's got nice size, but just a little bit more fullness and roundness here to really get your eye to see that balance between the upper body and the lower body. I want to see that curve start all the way here before we come into the glutes. I think she's got a beautiful suit. I like how she's got this hand. I think the where her hand is placed on her in terms of near the belly button is good. It shows off this delt very nicely. And overall, she looks really, really quite great. She's got good conditioning. You see that nice chiseled oblique. It was fabulous. Okay, so here's side by side. So Sharina in first place, I think she, even though she has a bit more softness than, Helene, she still has just the right amount of soft versus hard. So you see the oblique, you see that groove in her hip. You've got that little bit of detail coming through by her kneecap, but she still has that fullness and roundness and just a beautiful softness in her legs. And I do notice that S curve quite well, whereas with Geneva, it's a little bit more straight and a slope. So very close, but I think Sharina just had a beautiful softness about the way she's posing, the way she's got her foot. She looked very beautiful. And then from behind, I really liked with Sharina the fullness in her legs. I think you see those beautiful curves. Geneva maybe could have had her feet a little closer together and perhaps a little bit more length in her hair to just hide some more of her back and make you really have that optical illusion of the V shape. I think Sharina really nailed it with her hair, the cut of her hair and the leanness in her back. Beautiful delts. All right, finally, Masters Wellness. So the 35 plus and the 40 plus were very similar with one additional competitor in the 40 plus. So we're going to look at the pictures for that one. So in first place was Joanne, second Amber, third Elizabeth, and fourth Ruth. So here's Ruth in fourth place, and wow, what an amazing amount of size, particularly when we just looked at Bikini. Like, this is wellness. A lot of muscle mass in the legs. Her glutes are massive. Her delts are large. She just looks so muscular and substantial, and I love it. She's got beautiful detail coming through on her quad here in the back. She's got a nice groove in her leg, good obliques. I did find, though, that her feet are too close together, and the problem is I'm losing some of that shape of the back leg, and particularly in the lineup, I find her to look a little more crunched and condensed, and I want to be more big. I want to see more of her body. I think she looks really fantastic from a size perspective. She's by far the most muscular. Just needs to open up her posing a little bit and show it off. But beautiful yellow suit. I think her hair and makeup look really nice, and overall, she's super impressive. Okay, next is Elizabeth in third, that you'll probably remember from the Samson Pro that we just had. She's doing amazing. I think her conditioning came in just ever so slightly tighter. Maybe it's just lighting, who knows, but I think you're seeing a little bit more detail in the lines in her leg than you saw here, and it's awesome. I'm all for it. She's got great obliques, really nice shape to her glute. Great hamstring, so much size, great curve, beautiful amount of mass in her lower body. I'm sure I said it before. I do think she could have a bit more size to her delts, just to have a little bit more mass up top. But overall, I think she's posing really well, and she just looks beautiful. Great suit color. I love her dark hair. She's doing amazing. Okay, next is Amber in second. Unfortunately, the picture was cropped, but you'll see her again in a minute in the lineup photos. I think you'll notice that she's got beautiful conditioning. You've got great obliques. You've got this nice outline of her glute, some detail coming through in her quads. She's got gorgeous delts, but I also feel that Amber does a little bit too much crunching in her posing. I think she could straighten out a little bit. She's a kind of leaning ever so slightly. So if she could pull up a little more and twist the shoulder more open, I think it would do wonders. I think it would really open up her whole physique. Definitely we're noticing that beautiful glute. She's got great shape. But yeah, just a little bit of a tweak to the posing for me. But I love her green suit. I love that she had green eyeshadow. Her hair reminds me of a beautiful mermaid. Like, she just looks stunning. All right, and now in first place is Joanne. She is nailing the posing, you guys. I love it. You see her body so clearly. Her shoulders are open, her chest is up. She's not too much to the side. You've got this beautiful curve in her back. Really showing off the legs beautifully. She's not in the highest shoes. That's something I noticed right away, but her legs look stunning. She's got really nice softness and fullness to the quad, but you still have detail coming through with her conditioning. Tiny waist. I don't know. There's just something about her. She looks so bright, so open, just full. I think she looks absolutely beautiful. Really nice amount of size in her arms. Gorgeous. I love the color of her suit. I love the delicate, tiny little straps, her connectors. I'm not crazy about how far forward her hand is and the finger being down, but that might be something strategic that she's doing to really accentuate the tininess of her waist. But overall, I think she's just amazing. Okay, so here's the side-by-side. See what I mean about Joanne's posing? She's so upright. She's really showing you her shoulders. She's twisted to the front, but her waist looks tiny and her glutes look amazing. Great size and great conditioning. Ruth by far has the most amount of mass, but I do find her to be too crunched up, right? Her legs are very close together. We're losing this back leg. Elizabeth, I think, looks fantastic, but this is where I think you'll agree with me. She could have a bit more shape and size in those delts. Amber's a little bit more bent over, a little bit more of a lean compared to Joanne. I think Joanne her waist looks so small and she just has such a beautiful curve here. It's undeniable. And then from behind, this clearly to me goes to Joanne. Her tie-ins are incredible. Her glutes have such a great shape. She really nailed the leanness. So you've got a beautiful outline of the glutes and a lot of detail coming through in her legs with a beautiful curve. I think Ruth needed more conditioning. The glutes are round, but we're not seeing enough tie-in, not enough leanness. Amber could have maybe had a little bit more of the tie-ins coming down towards the hamstrings. Elizabeth has beautiful size in her legs, but Joanne really, really captures that shape. She's got nice delts poking through her hair, tiny waist, and the glutes are just so high and such a tremendous shape with those amazing tie-ins. Okay, guys, that's it for my recap. A big show. There are a lot more shows coming up in April, so I hope you'll be joining me for all of those recaps. I'll be back as soon as I can. Give me a like if you like this video. Don't forget to subscribe, comment below with your thoughts, and come find me. I'm at turquoisetoffee.wordpress.com and, of course, on Instagram at turquoisetoffee.